In this video, I thought I'd just give a basic overview of some of the basic functions on the TI Nspire calculator. The one that I'm currently using is the CAS system, but the functions on this one will be the same as they are on the traditional TI Nspire calculator as well as the TI CX version. So first of all, the first thing you'll do is the home button. That's this button right here that I've done in red. That gets you to this button. We can create new documents. We can switch from a calculator to a graph through this button. That's also how you turn on and off your calculator. From this button, we can click any of these. If you'll notice right here, you actually have a mouse pad. If you kind of run your thumb or your finger across this, it will show up on the actual screen, and then you can select one of these two. So if you wanted to, you could select the calculator, click on that one, and it will open a calculator. Okay, and you can type in something 2 plus 3, and then just hit enter, and it actually will calculate it for you. Let's go back to this one, though. This is the home button. If you wanted to, this is kind of a shortcut here. If you click this button here, that looks like a calculator. So the one that I've just done in red here, this is also a calculator button, okay? If you hit it twice, so in other words, you hit it again, then it jumps to a graph. There we go, there's our graph, and if we want to go back and forth, we just hit this one. So it's a nice way to kind of toggle back and forth between a calculator and a graph. Let's just focus on the calculator just for a moment here. Now on this calculator, if you will look, we've got a lot of symbols and a lot of words that are in blue here. Those are the ones that we have to hit this control button first. So for instance, if we typed in something like x squared, let's do that. Here's my x. You'll notice that we've got all the letters are down here on the bottom, so I'll just go x. Squared is this button right here, okay, squared. That's fine, that works. But let's say that I wanted this little square root sign right here. This square root sign, in order to do that, what I'm going to have to do is hit this control button first. So let's do x squared plus, and then we'll use this square root button. In order to use that, I'm going to have to hit control first. So I hit control, then the x squared button, which will give me this square root here. Okay, and then I can type in anything I want there, maybe 5x. 5x. Notice how when I keep typing this, it's all underneath this radical. So in order to get out of that radical, I'm going to have to use my right arrow. And that's going to be right here on this touchpad. I'll use the right arrow. I just click it once, and now I'm on the outside. Now I can minus 3 x, and again the squared is right here. You can do anything like that you want along those lines, and you can hit enter in, and it will give you the most simplified version of that. Okay, but that's the big thing. Now we've got a couple, this button right here becomes important. We've got a lot of symbols, a lot of different ways that we can use this calculator. So if you use this button right here, I don't know, it's got a lot of weird looking ones here, but it's a one in red. This gives you a whole bunch of different ones that you can set it up here. It's got some matrices that we can use. We'll use those later on. It's got a square root button here. So if you don't want to use this one here, you can go in here. That's fine. Exponents here, if we want to use that, that's okay. This one, I like this one. We'll use this one quite a bit. This is our fraction button. So if I just click on this, and when you're here, you can toggle back, or you can use your touchpad here to scroll along it. You can also use this as a button and just push to the right. So if we push to the right one, oops, there we go, to the right one, that will go over if we wanted to. I like this fraction for the moment, so I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm going to choose this one. Now you notice how it automatically appears in fraction form. That makes it really nice. So if we wanted to do something like 1/2, so we could do 1/2. We'll go down 1/2. Notice how I'm already on the bottom. Let's say if I want to go 1/2 times 1/3, I could go over here. I'd have to hit the right button here to go to the right. Plus, we'll do another fraction. Again, this button is right here. Okay, it makes it very easy to see. That's the advantage of the TI Nspire. 1/3. Again, I have to go down 1/3. I'll hit enter, and it will give it to me as a fraction, 5/6, which is fantastic. But most of the homework requires you to write it in a decimal form. So you can divide this out and try to see what that is, or you can just do this. Hit the up arrow twice. That highlights this one. Just hit the enter button. If you hit the enter button, that will give you the same thing again. Now, if you hit enter again, then it will give you this 5/6. That's what we just found out. So instead, here's where our control button comes in as well. See how these little lines right here? That's an approximation there. So you hit control, enter, and it'll give you the approximate answer. So that's what you'll actually fill in online. These are the decimal forms of these. So this works pretty good. That's a couple of those here. When we go into the graphs, we can click this button. This will bring up a graph. In order to enter in an equation to graph, this is your normal x, y axis here. If you want to enter something in to graph, you use your tab button. So you're going to tab, and let's say we wanted to do something like x squared. We'll go down here, x squared. And then you can just hit enter. It will graph it for you. There you go. And we'll kind of show you how to play around with these, but that's kind of at least a little intro. Again, the home button is vitally important. We use that one quite a bit. That gets you here. A lot of students, when they need to change something, will go into their settings here. That's option number 5. You can just simply type in 5. That will bring up your settings, and you can go through each one of these if you want to document settings or something. You can kind of play around with that just a little bit. Typically, the settings that come from the factory are good ones. Those are the ones that we want. So the biggest thing is on and off. The calculator button and the control will access all of these little symbols in blue or words in blue. We'll get into more of these as we progress along, but that's at least an introduction into this TI Nspire calculator.